Jason. I apologize off the bat because this video might go a bit long. I wish to speak to you about WandaVision. I think it's a discussion worth having. From the start, I've been a comic geek. I think from the time I learned how to read, I was reading comics. I was a very insecure and very frightened child. So I took refuge in these comics, and why not? I mean, the simple narrative structure of there being bad in the world, but there are individuals that would rise up and defeat the bad without fail. This was glorious. And throughout the years, I maintained this comic geekiness. And when these comics started to be turned into movies, I was there from the start. From the very first Superman movie with Christopher Reeve. What was that, 1978? And now you have the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and you have the DC Universe. WandaVision is supposed to be the first salvo of Marvel's Phase 4. I saw the first episode at a friend's house. I got hooked, so I decided to subscribe to Disney Plus. And believe me, that's not like me, to subscribe to some other service that wants my money. You know, I only have so much money, but I was so enthused, so enraptured by episode 1, I decided to sign up for the whole shebang. And with each episode, I got more and more involved and more excited about it until we reached the last episode, episode 9. And 9 left my jaw scraping the floor. Wanda, the hero, with incredible powers, she goes insane. And in her insanity, she can't accept reality, so she creates this reality where her life is the way she wants it, so that she can be happy. She even resurrects her dead husband. You can do that in the comics. And in doing this, she enslaves hundreds of people, men, women, children. So they undergo mental and emotional torture. I remember a Star Trek episode where this kind of thing happened, and the writers called it rape. And they're right. Wanda ends up raping hundreds of individuals to make this fantasy reality. And in the end, she shakes it off. She says, "Oh, my bad." And she gets away with it. No consequences. There's not even an attempt to have a consequence. Her resurrected husband, Vision, as he realizes, as they both realize that this fantasy world must end, he gives this impassioned, noble speech about the power of their love. Totally ignoring all the people that Wanda hurt. And she retires to a cabin somewhere in the mountains somewhere, and you just see her sitting there alone, thinking, I guess, contemplating the error of her ways, hopefully trying to figure out how to atone for her ways, but we don't know. We just see her sitting there. And it's interesting because so many of the fans of these movies and of these comic stories are progressives. There are so many sites, websites, that are dedicated to these comic stories. And so many reviews written by people who identify themselves as progressives or espouse progressive values. But progressives believe in that oversight. They believe in the government having that oversight. Even with the whole brouhaha about the police. It's not just get rid of the police and let anarchy reign. No, they want local and state and federal governments to get involved to have a replacement for the police. And if the government doesn't have enough oversight, then the progressives get together, the Twitter mob, right? And they say, government, you need to do this. They believe in oversight. Conservatives believe in oversight. Americans believe in oversight. People around the world believe in oversight because oversight is necessary for the healthy functioning of society. And yet, these heroes, I've been thinking about it, going back to the very first story, the very first Superman and Batman stories, 1938, 39, that started it all. No oversight. Anytime the government and authorities try to get involved, the heroes would mock them, inviting us, the readers, to mock them. The whole Civil War scenario, which was about Tony Stark championing government oversight, and Captain America, Steve Rogers, saying, no, 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 we can take care of ourselves. So many of us sided with Captain America, but guess what? Tony Stark was right. And then to make it convenient in the comics, the government department that was most pushing for the oversight turned out to be an evil Nazi organization. Very convenient to get the readers on the side of Captain America and anti-oversight. Society depends upon having structures that are managed by people that know the difference between right and wrong and will champion right and punish wrong and try to extinguish wrong, or at least diminish wrong, at every opportunity. Society depends on it. But in the comics, which are champions of progressive values, they're not. So many progressives actually love these comics because even when the good guys become bad, like Wanda, we can trust in them to self-correct. That doesn't work. The secret to a healthy, happy, confident life, not even a secret, this is what's key. Know the difference between right and wrong, and it's not hard to figure that out. And then choose right every single time. Peace. 4 fingers.